ukiangalia mimi na uangalie ndugu yangu Munya, sisi si watu wa kucheza masaa ya kazi. Sisi si watu wa kucheza masaa ya kazi. Tukiwa hapo tukishikilia baba, ujue pesa yako, rasio mali yako italindwa sawa sawa. Tuko pamoja.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you viewers. I hope you are fine wherever you are. Welcome to Talk to Africa. My name is George. Why do you think Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga settled for Martha Karua and not Peter Kenneth, not Sabina Chege, and not Peter Munya? Why do you think Uhuru Kenyatta chose and settled for Martha Karua? If you're watching this channel for the first time, kindly subscribe to it. If you like any one of our programs, we will highly appreciate if you like the programs on YouTube, or even better, share the videos with your friends. Why do you think Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga settled for Martha Karua instead of the other three?
So that we don't have these adjournments, the adjournment to let a person continue with the elections. They didn't give us time to figure out how to get on with health services when our money has been looted. They didn't give us time to know how we can have food when there is no money to help citizens when they are in need. I know that it is not about laws. We may need laws to outlaw keeping cases days on end. Just like we have electoral cases going in 6 months, we may need laws, Speedy Trial Act, which restricts the court to a certain time.
As we've said in the past, the slot for running mate in Azimio, that slot and the position was reserved for Uhuru Kenyatta, and Uhuru Kenyatta had a big say in identifying a running mate for Raila Amolo Odinga. There's no doubt about that. I think we've been vindicated with time about that. Secondly, we are also aware that the slot for running mate was also reserved for Mount Kenya. That too has come to pass. But our question today is so simple. Why do you think Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga settled for Martha Karua and not Peter Kenneth, not Peter Munya, and not Sabina Chege? Look at this clip of Martha Karua talking to the advocacy people. Just watch this clip.
Instilling physical discipline alone already gets you somewhere. Imagine we are losing like 800 billion, outright theft, corruption, abuse of public funds. If we plugged in and stopped that leakage, already we would be having so much. If the debt is 1.3 trillion and you save about 800, you already are going towards somewhere. And we haven't even gone to other areas. We haven't even talked of good governance in the tax regime, where nobody gets spared and nobody gets harassed. We just pay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Good governance is the answer, is the antidote.
We all know that there are many factors that were being considered about gender, vote basket, experience, qualifications, and other things. So that taken into account, at the end of the day, Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga settled for Martha Karua. There's no doubt in my mind that if it was a question of DNA or the relationship between Raila Amolo Odinga and his running mate, obviously Peter Kenneth would have been preferred. As a matter of fact, I dare even say that Raila Amolo Odinga would have worked easier and more easily with Peter Kenneth or Sabina Chege than Martha Karua. But I definitely don't think that the entire consideration of a running mate was based on, the DNA issue or loyalty issue. Kenyans are already fresh, and in fact it's ongoing, that Uhuru Kenyatta does not see eye to eye with William Samoei Ruto, no matter how many times William Samoei Ruto apologizes. So what is it exactly that Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga agreed upon and actually settled for Martha Karua? I'll cut the rest of the things. I'll just narrow down to one thing. Martha Karua is selling a message right now. And if you listen carefully, in the last 2 weeks and a few days after being nominated by Raila Amolo Odinga, Martha Karua has been talking about the agenda of accountability, the issue of values, the issue of corruption. And you realize Martha Karua is basically somebody who is coming with the experience from advocacy groups. In fact, Martha Karua is a very principled person. So if it's a question of DNA or agreements, then I'm sure that could not have been the only consideration. In fact, during the last 1 week, Martha Karua's message, other than selling Azimio and Raila Amolo Odinga in Mount Kenya, which a lot of politicians were not doing, Martha Karua's message is crystal clear. Good values, corruption. And in fact, I dare say that the appointment or nomination of Martha Karua, which came with a job as DP, person in charge of constitutional affairs, that actually points to us squarely that Martha Karua came in not only because she's a lady, not only because she's bringing a vote basket from Mount Kenya, but she came in because of her principles and values and stand on corruption. Meaning that Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta have identified the biggest problem that this country has at this moment, which is looting, theft, and corruption. I believe this is the reason why Martha Karua was actually taken instead of the other candidates who equally qualify from Mount Kenya. In fact, as we speak, one Waititu, just one governor out of the 47 governors is being followed by EACC for looting or suspected looting of 2 billion Kenya shillings from the Kenyan government. So you can imagine corruption is a big problem. Forget about those people who talk to us about the economy. Don't forget bottom up. There's no bottom there. If one does not deal with corruption, and by the way, this is Martha Karua's message, you cannot solve the problems of Kenyans. You cannot address the issue of the gap between the rich and the poor. 2 billion for heaven's sake. And the 2 billion by Waititu is just a drop in the ocean, because there must be much more, because 2 billion has been frozen and the man is continuing as normal. In fact, he is fighting to be governor of Kiambu again. You see, so these two parties must have identified the problem as corruption. And Martha Karua has been actually selling that message, that there's no delivery of service that's going to happen until the issue of corruption has been addressed. And by the way, you multiply that 2 billion by 5,000 politicians in Kenya and see the magnitude of the problem of looting, theft, and corruption. And I believe this is a factor and is one of the fundamental factors, and it's by design. It's not a coincidence, it's not an accident, it's not like Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta agreed upon it during this nomination period. No, I think these two leaders must have identified the problem of corruption, looting, and theft, and they want to use this ticket of reformers, that is Martha Karua and Raila Amolo Odinga, to sort out the issue of corruption once and for all. As I said in the past, it's not a question of corruption. It's actually outright theft, looting, and a lot of other issues. So I think that fundamentally, the reason why Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta also as an individual thought about this country, and the reason why Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga, when they combined later on, they must have identified the problem with Kenya to be theft and corruption. There's no service delivery that can happen in this country until you address the issue of theft and corruption. There's no doubt about that. Anybody thinking the other way is definitely having a problem. So that could be the bigger part of the reason why Martha Karua was elected or selected by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga. What do you think? In my side pocket today, I think this time round, William Samoei Ruto actually called a wrong number. Look at William Samoei Ruto attempted to call. Let me just play the clip for you. Just have a look at the clip. Listen to William Samoei Ruto inviting Martha Karua and listen to what Martha Karua responds. Just listen to this clip as we close.
In the absence of my brother, the Honorable Raila Odinga, who is my main competitor in this election, I'm going to ask my sister, Martha Karua, allow me to break that protocol so that she can come and make some few remarks. Karibu, Martha.
Mine is just to appreciate this prayer breakfast. I'm here also representing my principal, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. We pray, especially for us leaders. We remember our national values and principles, and how we pray that moving forward, and especially after these prayers, that our actions match our words.
As you can see, William Samoei Ruto actually overplayed his hand by actually calling upon Martha Karua to talk in that prayer conference. You know, so William Samoei Ruto made that fundamental mistake, thinking that he actually ambushed Martha Karua and Martha Karua was going to blunder, which would have given him mileage. But instead what happened? Martha Karua actually just spontaneously talked about values and actually doing what you preach. You see, so Martha Karua is not just an ordinary politician. She's focused, she knows where she wants to go, and she knows where the problem is. She's been given a target. She knows what she's supposed to do in the incoming government of Azimio. I can say that almost with confidence now. And that is what Martha Karua is all about. And that is why Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga appointed Martha Karua as the running mate. There's one thing though that I would like to say. This issue of justice cuts both ways. So I hope, and I really hope, that Raila Amolo Odinga will not, after giving Martha Karua a good job to be in charge of the legal fraternity and the issues that are bedeviling this country of corruption, I hope at some point they will not come back and stop Martha Karua from doing her job, because we know that Martha Karua stands for values. And if there's anybody in this country who will deal with the issue of corruption, it is one Martha Wangari Karua. Thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to Talk to Africa. My name is George. Asante sana.